2020 has brought with it an unprecedented number of stories that have profoundly impacted our way of life. First, there was the impeachment trial of Donald Trump in the Senate, and then the coronavirus pandemic dominated the headlines for weeks. Now the stories are largely around police conduct and racial justice in the aftermath of the killing of George Floyd while in Minneapolis police custody. Janine Fondon, the chair of the communications department at Bay Path University, spoke with Carolee McGrath to offer her perspective on how the media navigates these important stories in this ever-changing news environment.
I think we're in a cycle that is, as you well know, totally unprecedented. I think for many journalists covering and people living, I mean, we are just in times that we could not have even imagined. So for me, and just imagine us in the classroom with students, you know, thinking about this is where we are and acknowledging that next week we will not be here because we are all going to be quarantined. So talk about going from, you know, an emotional space, a news space, to a physically, socially distant space, and thrust into more communication that we've ever had before for the sake of our lives. Totally unprecedented.
And how did you help your students through that? Because you mentioned that, you know, right before all of this happened, you know, coronavirus was just starting to emerge as that big story. Then March 11th happens. Everything is shut down. And now everybody's doing Zoom or FaceTime or whatever it is. How did you guide your students through the end of the semester with all these changes?
Yes. And, you know, it was a very interesting time because we started off at the beginning of the month, and I know I was speaking with you, you know, about, you know, Women's History Month. You know, we were all just getting immersed in, you know, looking at women's history. And then we slowly emerged into life as it was. So, you know, students had to change literally within weeks, you know, of this collective activity of coming together. We did hold the On the Move forum, you know, and right after that, things, you know, took a little turn. So students went from this really bonding to, you know, life making their way off campus to their homes and places of safety. Some even had to go to other countries. So when you think about it, it was a time that, number one, we had to stay in communication. So we were, you know, always in touch, you know, with the students. And then the very next week, we all were on Zoom and, you know, having meetings and continuing with classes online. So luckily for many of the communication students, they were somewhat familiar with that process. And for some students who have been online, they were. Other students, it was totally new. So we all, you know, on that first call, we just said to each other that, you know, we'll all be doing new things and thinking about things in new ways, but we'll find community wherever we are. Let's
talk a little bit about the media coverage from March 11th in Massachusetts and nationally to, let's say, the end of May. Everything, all the headlines dominated. It was about coronavirus, obviously, more than 7,600 deaths here in Massachusetts, and people were really looking for information about what they could do. You know, can I go to the grocery store safely? You know, do I need to wipe down my groceries? So that was nonstop coverage, and obviously lots of stories to cover there, from health to the economy.
Yes. There was, first of all, I think most people were glued to their communication devices, all to figure out what were the next steps. People are trying to figure out, you know, are we going up? Are we going down? And this was not just to get news. This was because, you know, situations were life-threatening. So I think that was a very different space for people to be in. You know, now we're not watching the news headlines. We are the news headlines. You know, so we want to really be cognizant of how deeply emotionally and physically that the news became. You know, it became personal in many ways, in that everyone was kind of looking at, you know, where is it spreading? Why isn't it going down? You know, what's happening in my area? What is the governor saying? So, you know, for as much as we were trying to be very objective, this was also about home. And for anyone who had, you know, people in rest homes and, you know, other people in hospitals, people having babies, you know, we felt it all.
Right, and that source of information became critical, as you said, in all of those circumstances. May 25th, a different story that really rocked the United States, the killing of George Floyd, outcry and heartbreak across the country about that. And as expected, the news media shifts the focus.
Yes, yes, that moment rocked the world. I think as journalists, as we cover stories, we're looking from the outside in. But with that story, it became the human piece of everyone, journalist or not, to see in real time what happened. And they felt it. I think we're in a very, very emotional time where we can all imagine what those minutes must have felt like, and we watched it. So again, where this was not just another photo, this was a life that left.
Right. And when you talk about that story in particular happening kind of at the same time as now the coronavirus states are reopening, and now you have demonstrations and protests across the country, and that story remains the dominant story. What happens to the coronavirus, as we move towards the end of the summer? I mean, obviously that is still a critically important story with a number of deaths as well.
Yes, I think we have these two very connected stories that are actually, and it's not over. I think there are going to be other stories that are going to be magnified over and with the coronavirus. And for sure, until we have a vaccine, many will feel like they will not be able to rest. And many people want, and I will say, hopefully all people want to feel safe. They want to know the magnitude. I mean, even seeing people return and open and all of that, the first thought in my mind was safety. We do not want a repeat of what happened in March. So again, everybody's thinking, well, we're all getting back to life. I think the stories will also be very important to not only life as it was, as it began in March, but life as it emerged. We're seeing different cases pop up, when it comes to addressing, what's happening with policing around the country. And there are other stories that are going to emerge. I think, maybe this is the year, and we don't know why and how this happens, that, we are, could be at a real turning point. We have the election. We have, a number of dynamics when it comes to the financial health of the country and world. And there are a lot of major issues that we are addressing. And this makes it that time that I don't think any one story can dominate, but they all intersect.